Good evening, everybody, and welcome to round 7 of this season's ILR2 here for season 5 here at Germany. And joining me tonight will be Burnout or Ben. How are you, Ben, tonight?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Dominic. How are you today?
I'm very good and looking forward to putting on a good show for everybody watching on Twitch right now for this second tier of ILR at Germany, which is a circuit that I think provides some very good, interesting racing, long straights, plenty of overtaking opportunities, and a chance of rain. You never know. So, going into this race, things have changed since I've last commentated, or we've both commentated on the league anyway. At the moment, the Jackster 21 is leading the championship at the moment, ahead of SHZ Overkills in second place. He's 8 points in front at the moment, so pretty tight between top two. And the Bacon Yum's actually there in P3. A further 20 points back, so he's 20 points away from being in the lead of the championship. So top three, pretty tight. And between those top three, they've won plenty of races. Obviously, Jax has won about 2 races so far. Overkill has won 2 as well, and Bacon has won 1. But since Jax has raced from China onwards, probably from Bahrain onwards, really, he's been on the podium consecutively for the past 4 races, so he's been really the man to beat in terms of consistency and speed so far. And looking down the order as well, I mean, Maestro is in 4th, but he's 57 points back, so really, everybody kind of ahead of sort of top 3. It's pretty tight, 20 points separating top 3, and I think those top 3 are going to be going for the title going into the last race season up Brazil. So all to play for really in terms of that, and the Construction Championship at the moment. Let's have a little look at that as well. So at the moment, it's currently being led by McLaren, Jamie, and Overkills. However, Jamie has left the league, unfortunately, so he's gone. So looks like McLaren's current lead in the Constructors' Championship is probably going to be wiped. So looking like it's pretty much in favour of Toro Rosso, with LCR Mulder and Bacon Yum doing well in second place in there. So they're probably going to be easy top by the end of this race. And then Sauber in 3rd place, and they're quite tight as well, sort of 3 points behind Toro Rosso at the moment, with Clone Troop and the Jackster. And obviously right now Jackster currently leads the championship, and the Clone Troop's got some points on the board, and he's got some decent pace on him as well. So all to fight for in the teams championship as well. Obviously you've got Ferrari, Mercedes, Force India, and Renault quite far back from those top 3 teams. So looking like a good old fight, pretty much between now Toro Rosso and Sauber, whilst McLaren are gone. So. But if McLaren have got a reserve driver for this race, then there's a chance, which they have. I think Overkill, actually BOR Hamilton's now in the McLaren, so he potentially, if he's got the pace, will score some very good points for them as well. So, very interesting final 5 races. We've got Germany, Italy, America, then Japan, and now obviously got the finale in Brazil for F1 2018, and then we're moving on to F1 2019 afterwards for season 6 of ILR. So, last final races here, and everybody wants to try and stall very well and end this game on a very good high, and that's the idea. So Ben, let's talk about Germany as a racetrack, as in terms of racing. What can we expect from a circuit like Germany?
Well, it's one of the shortest circuits on the calendar. It's only 16 corners. Most of them quite fast. Normally produces quite good racing, especially on this game. I don't think Taiwan will be an issue as far as I'm aware. One of the main overtaking spots will probably be in turn 6, the hairpin. Expect to see a lot of moves being done there. Also, maybe into turn 2 before the DRS. But yeah, great racing. Usually a great track, and I'm sure it'll be a great race tonight.
Yeah, should be interesting. And also, there's also a threat of rain. Germany, obviously, in real life, does get wet races. I saw it in the classic 2018 race, which was absolutely amazing. So you never know on this game on dynamic weather, and we could see a wet race too. And I think that will make things even more spicy, because that means the drivers have to be on their edge, and be on the edge of what they can do. And I think we can see a lot more mistakes from the drivers as well. So we should potentially, if it is wet, have a very interesting session ahead of us. But if it's dry, equally, as you mentioned, the overtaking is pretty incredible around here. So, and there is plenty of opportunities for the drivers to get, particularly that long DRS zone going into the hairpin. They've got every chance of getting past. And the first lap, I think, potentially will be very careful down there, because everyone will be towing each other down the straight, and it can get a little bit messy on the first lap. So anything's possible. But everyone's just loading into qualifying right now. And, I mean, Ben, looking at the Triton Championship, looking at where things have been. Where do you think in terms of qualifying? Who's your money on?
Obviously we haven't been around for a couple of races, but based on current standings, it'd have to be Jaxer, to be honest. You know, he's shown really good consistency. Pretty sure he's had 2 wins in third place after China. So yeah, showing really incredible pace. But also he could have overkills right with him, and I think it'd be close between them two. With Blumpton very close as well. But hopefully, as ILR2 is very, very competitive, hopefully we'll see a close grid as we normally see.
Did mean so. The first cars are going out the circuit right now. GSY Ginger Ninja is out there currently in the Haas. He's the first man out there, and behind him actually is a Force India, and I think that is of St. Will. So first couple of guys out there, and looking like they're on the kind of, so St. Will's actually on the medium tyre, and then everybody else sort of are on the ultra soft. So again, we probably see the current themes we have throughout the whole season is pretty much people just set laps on a banker lap on the softest compound tyre initially because they know the track's going to get better, and they'll plan ahead for the race. So what they'll do is they'll probably qualify on the middle compound that's available to them. That's what tends to happen, but if it's a wet race, then obviously that won't happen. But we're going to keep with Ginger Ninja at the moment. Currently stands at 18th in the championship. He's only scored 3 points, so his points were scored in Spain and Austria. So got some work to do in terms of he wants to score some more points, but I'm sure he can try and pull something off here. And it's good to see so many people racing tonight as well. 16 people racing, so that shows again people still want to be committed to this game towards the end of its cycle. So fantastic stuff. So here comes Ginger Ninja, starting a first flying lap here in qualifying, and runs it pretty wide out of turn 1. So probably didn't get the extension that he needed. So now into turn 3, turns it in. Neil needs to be patient on the power, short shifting to get the power down a little bit earlier, and then down this long back straight where we should see quite a lot of interesting overtakes in the race, and you never know, first lap chaos could happen down here. Indeed, he breaks just about the 100-meter board. It's quite a tough braking point in this one, but he fixes it in first gear, and then short shifts to second and third to get a better exit. He's on the cover a little bit, so just show me that he's not on a full attack lap at the moment. It's probably a lot more left in the lap. Now through this sort of tight left-right, he's locked a little bit, he's messed up his line, he's compromised it a little bit, so his exit here won't be ideal, but he's okay, he's in the limits and he's doing really well. And that's literally done through this fast right-hand. It's a fantastic corner. The drive in an F1 car and now into the sort of stadium section. Left-hander, he's locked big time and he's nearly in the gravel there, so again, plenty of time, and he might even back out this lap, which I think he has done. So this won't be a representative lap, and he actually is boxing it in straight away. ST Will is out there on the medium. Let's see how he's getting on in the Force India. Let's see how he's getting on to the line. He's going to set our first provisional lap of the session of 1:15.464 for the Force India driver, and that's currently provisional pole. However, it hasn't gone to the top because it must have been invalidated on around the lap, so he hasn't actually delivered. But BRR Hamilton now puts in our actual first flying lap of the session at 12.239 in the McLaren. So there's our first initial lap times, and now Bromson's now in second place in the Mercedes. Anybody else out there? So Chris Jones is out there currently. He's on a lap that's right on board with him. Let's see how he's getting on. Currently down in 11th place. Not had a great season so far. He would want to try and turn things around here. Across the line, it's 13.3, puts him ahead of his teammate LCR Bromson, but into second, and sort of actually 1.1 seconds off what BRR Hamilton has just done. So a pretty good lap there from BRR Hamilton to start things for his session, and I'm sure he's pretty happy with that. And you'll have a little look down. LCR Mulder is out there. He's on the medium as well. Is he actually on a flying lap? No, he doesn't seem to be. Josu is on one, so let's go on board with Josu currently. Josu down in 13th in the standings right now. Not on many points. Has only scored in 2 events so far, Bahrain and Spain. So again, he'd want to score some decent points here. He's got a bit of traffic ahead of him, so Kushmania and the Renault's a little bit ahead of him. So that might disturb him on his lap a little bit here. And he's got a little bit of oversteer from the exit, so this could be putting him off. But Kushmania gets out of the way nicely. And he's gone very deep into the penultimate corner, so that's messed up his line big time. And I don't know if this is going to be a valid lap time, which I don't think it will be. He's crossed the line, it's going to be 130.6, puts him into P5. So not great from Josu, but I'm sure plenty of time remaining in that lap. We've got Mulder out there. Jackster is coming to the end of his first flying lap. He's on the ultra softs. So let's see how he's going to get on. This should be pretty much up there, and he's backed out of it. So again, this is what they do. They kind of go for a fast lap, but back out of it straight away, so they don't actually qualify on the tyre that they on that softer compound. But Mulder, let's go on board with him. He's actually backed out, so he isn't on a flying one. But Overkills is out there in the McLaren. And currently he's second place in the championship, 8 points back, so he'd want to try and get some points back on the Jackster and try and close that gap up a little bit here. So we're going to keep on board with the McLaren driver. He's throwing quite a smooth lap here. It doesn't look like he's overtaking it. He's not really attacking it that hard. Now the penultimate corner down into fourth. Again, yeah, he's very slow. He isn't really pushing that at all. So he's back into the pit lane. Kush, though, will be potentially on a lap here. No, he's out of it too. He's backed out completely. Anybody else? The Amazement, he might be on a flyer here. Looks like he hasn't started a lap on those mediums yet. So let's go on board with the Amazement. And the Amazement currently lies 7th in the championship. Had that podium in China, which is a solid result for him. Ever since he's been he hasn't scored many points since then, though. He scored 7th place in Spain, but other than that, nothing much from him. He's had 2 DNFs so far. He got 7th place in Austria, sorry. Actually, he had a DNF in Spain and a DNF in Great Britain. And he only finished 12th in Bahrain, so not being great for the Amazement. Again, looking like he's not really on a flying lap at this point. So again, people are not really pushing it at this point in the session, and we should see times absolutely tumble as we progress through qualifying and this track gets a little bit better to drive on and the grip gets a little bit higher. Let's have a little look. Anybody else? Josu might be on a lap here. Let's keep with him. Is he actually improving on the second sector? Let's have a little look. He's down about a tenth and a bit. So maybe he's in an improvement. Let's keep on board with the Red Bull driver. Let's see where we can put the Red Bull at the moment. Double right-handers now. Let's see, he's back into the pit lane, I think. So that's it for their first runs, really. Mulder is everyone else sort of down below. What is Bacon Young doing? Now, Kushmania goes top on 11.8. We didn't see that coming. So he's on top, then now by 4/10. So he's now the man to beat. That's showing what you can do on those soft tyres. Now, let's see what Bacon can do on the medium. He won't be looking at. He's not really pushing it at all, actually. So he's not going to be setting reps in that time at all. So everybody is kind of done their first runs here, and now they're boxing in for a set of fresh tyres. Anybody else? IK is starting a lap on the medium. Let's keep on board with him. He's currently in 6th place at 12.8 at the moment. But he's 4 laps in on those mediums. So looking to me, he's just trying to get a feel for the circuit at this point. Yeah, it won't be his fastest up of the session. What about Maestro? How's he getting on? He's currently up. He's on the ultra softs, but I've got a feeling he's going to back out of it at the end of this lap. Let's go through the double right-handers within the last 2 corners of the circuit. Let's see what it's going to be. Is he going to back out or not? He goes really well at the last corner. Across the line with a 13.4, and he puts him into P7 at the moment. So he's 5 laps in on those ultra softs. So again, lots of life obviously on those ultra softs that have been done. So he's probably going to be able to go faster towards the end of the session there. So again, it's more about getting a feel for things at the moment, not really pushing it that hard. Anybody else on push laps? Bacon taking it very slowly, not really giving it everything yet. And the Jackster is on an out lap, so the Sauber driver might do something here. Leader of the championship going into the last 5 races, so you'd want to kind of try and deliver that. And he's back into the bits, is he? Yes, he is. So he's back in. The Amazement might continue for another lap. Let's see what it's going to be for the Ferrari driver across the line. It's going to be a 1 minute 14.4. It's P9 at the moment again, and a fair few laps on those mediums, so nothing really improving. And again, probably a lot more improvements to come. And you can see the amount of laps people have been doing on the tyres. You've got people like Kush, IK, Chris, Maestro, and the Amazement. They've all done more than 1 lap on their tyres. They've done 3 to 5 laps. So again, people just getting a feel for the track, putting the grip on the circuit, and then they'll absolutely hammer it in the last sort of final 5 minutes of the session. We'll see the times absolutely tumble. But then, so far, how are you kind of guiding, looking at things in the moment now? What's your first impressions of the session so far?
Everyone's just kind of no. I don't think everyone's kind of baiting us in a minute. We've got people on the ultras, just not finishing laps. But I'm guessing everyone's going to start on the softs. That's probably the way it's going to go. But you might see the odd person start on the ultras, maybe, depending if the pace is there or not. But yeah, Kush on the pace, it seems, with 11.8. But it'll be interesting to see what Jackster and Overkills can do.
Indeed, yeah, and there you go. ST Wheel goes top on our 11.817. So times our top sort of ST Wheel and Chrismania's trading times at the moment. But as you said, it kind of feels like a practice session at the moment. People just doing their own program, not really looking at lap time at the moment. So we should see the times absolutely tumble in a minute, and we should be on for a quicker session. But I just give me the impression that potentially for the race, it's gonna be a dry one because people are only doing laps on softs and mediums, and they're not really going to be putting on the ultra soft tyre, really. Again, it depends on the strategy. I mean, round here, Ben, what do you think the strategy would probably be?
On top, I would say. Very short it'd be softs, mediums, then straight to the end.
For the soft, it's probably the third compound, as you mentioned. I mean, it depends if people like ST Will and Kush have gone for the harder option on the tyre strategy, so they might have an extra set of softs to use. I'm guessing they probably would have done if they're going to go with that strategy option. Everyone's back into the pits, not really doing anything extra. Jackster is out there on the medium. Let's go on board with him. He's on a lap. He looks like he's really giving it some. So there we go, into the hairpin, down into first gear, and now in. Going to give it the second, now third, now fourth. Doesn't short shift it, different driving style. So it almost revs up the first gear a little bit more and stays in first for a little bit longer than anybody else. Very clean through here, just keeping it all smooth. Let's see where he's going to be putting him at the moment. Where is it compared to everybody else? 15.5 in the second sector. Flicks it right. Again, looking very calm and settled, very smooth. No major dramas. We're getting lock-ups on our TV camera, which probably aren't happening where what he's doing. He's probably not happening there at all. And now into the final few corners now. Let's see what's going to be. And it's very clean to the line. It's a 1:12.0, but doesn't count. Where is he? He's not even counted on that. So he's obviously cut on that lap, unfortunately. So it doesn't continue. ST Will has retired. So that's calling it. His qualifying is now done and dusted. Surprised. This is a very interesting move because track is at its prime around about now. So and now Andy Beacon's gone too, and now Kush is gone. So Kush is retired on 6-lap-old softs. Ben, I mean, what's your verdict on that? It's just quite old, those softs.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, qualifying them surely. I'd expect him to go on either ultras or mediums. To be fair. He's gonna have to.
Yeah, that makes me think that. I mean, that's an odd strategy call. I mean, unless it's gonna be a wet race, don't understand why you do that. But I don't get it. Interesting strategy call there from Kush. So I'm sure that top two is going to tumble in a minute because I think everybody else will be on absolute improvements and everybody else is on soft. So looks like improvements are going to be coming flying in. As you mentioned, Ben, you were right. Everyone's on the soft compound tyre, starting on that tyre and giving them the one-stop strategy. Looks like Kush, if he's starting on six lap old softs, he's going very, very long and he could be at risk of having to do a two-stop strategy here. BRR Hamilton on outlap as well, so watch out for both Mazeman and BRR Hamilton. And looking at the order, obviously, other people as well. Wonder Jackster's in the pit lane. Mulder as well, and they're making Yum guys to watch big time. So let's go with BRR Hamilton. Let's see how he can do. So through the final few corners now, and he's winding up the pace. Now the final few laps now is where the track is at its absolute prime now. So here we go, onto a lap with BRR Hamilton. Here he goes into turn one. He flicks it in nicely into sixth gear. Doesn't extend, doesn't cut at all, so all pretty nice and tidy so far from the McLaren driver. Brakes now at the 100-meter board down into third gear, turns it in and clips the apex nicely. Needs to run it, doesn't run it too wide at all, and gets a nice exit through turn 4 and onto the DRS. So good first sector so far from the McLaren driver. He's nice and clean, quick, and on the limit of what he can do so far. So down this long back straight, heading into this very hard braking zone, down into first gear, and actually no, second gear, takes in second, locks up big time. Different type of technique from every single driver seemingly. He misses the apex by a long way. Now down into this sort of left-right section, got to be very careful and patient on the throttle, which he is, and keeps it in 5th gear through here. Doesn't get any wheel spin, nice and clean. And then now into the fast right-hander, down into 5th gear, very nicely done. And now into the stadium section, down into 3rd gear. Now through this fast left and then right, and now into the corner, down into 4th gear, turns it in nicely, and now into the last corner. Here he comes to the line. What's it going to be for the McLaren driver at 1 minute 11.5? That is provisional pole for now, but I'm sure more improvements will be coming very, very soon indeed. And what can the Amazement do? What has he done? He's on 11.5. That's currently put him into P2, so actually very close to the top 2 so far. So pretty good lap by the Amazement, but he has got more. He has got another lap to do potentially if he wants to. Chris Jones, what's he getting on? How's he getting on there in the Mercedes? Now into the last sector. See what he can deliver. Can he get up the amount? Now LCR Mulder goes top on 11.487, so very good luck by him. He's laid down the gauntlet, and there's Chris Jones into 5th place, 11.8. So it's all pretty tight right now. Lap time is very tight at the moment. Overkills is out there at the moment. He's only in P8, and that is his lap. That might be it for him. So everybody else, what about the F1? What F1 Maestro across the line? What's he gonna do? And he's going to probably start a lap now, so let's see what he can do. And also the Jackster's out there too. He'll be starting laps now. Ninja's now retired from the session. Bacon Yum, he's actually crashed. He's crashed out, and IK's crashed out. So that's the end of that. I think it's IK, or was it one of the Mercedes drivers? I'm not sure who it was. Was it? I saw somebody crash with him. Not sure who that was. So that might have ended, has definitely ended the Bacon Yum session. But let's go with the Jackster. What can he do right now? He's into the middle sector. Down this long straight. What can he deliver? Can he take away a pole position from LCR Mulder? This would be a cracking pole position if he can grab it off him. Through this fast right-hander now in 5th gear. Beautifully done. And now fast right-hander once again down into 5th gear. Hangs it in on there, a little bit wide, but he's okay. And now into the same section, nicely and nice and smooth by the Sauber. And he's backed out. I think that's it. He's backed out of that. He's not going faster, and that is it for qualifying here in Germany. And LCR Mulder is on provisional pole as it stands, unless there's any improvements. I don't think there will be. We've got Bromson out there in 11th. He might be on a lap. Let's run and ball with him. He might be out a lot. No, I think he's backing out of it, maybe. Yeah, he's out. He's backed out of that. So that is it. That is qualifying done and dusted, Ben. And LCR Mulder is on pole.
I feel like we commentators cursed it. You know, we said Jackson's, based on results, been really good, and he qualifies 14th. I think that is down to us. We apologise for cursing anyone in today's race, and yeah. We need to make some predictions now. I think Mulder, Hamilton,
prediction.
Naismith, not. We're gonna have a really nice battle. Not crash at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm surprised with Jackster. I think that's a very poor lap time, and the Bacon Yum as well in the session crashed out. I think had a collision with somebody. I think it might have been IK from what I saw on the cameras. I thought it was a Mercedes at first, so I'm not sure who it was, but I'm pretty sure it probably been IK. But you can see now the rain's actually tipping down at the end of the session, so the rain's come right at the peak time that they wanted it. So no rain in the session at all, only until the end. So there we go. That is qualifying done. And Ben, would you like to take us through the order?
I would indeed.
Loads.
Alright then. So LCR Mulder takes pole position here at Germany with Hamilton just behind him. Maisman in 3rd. Will in 4th. Chris Jones in 5th. Maestro in 6th. Kushmedia in 7th. Ginger Ninja in 8th. Overkill's 9th. K 10th. Blumpson 11th. Josu in 12th. Anti Beacon 13th. Jackson 14th. Bacon in 15th and Dazzler in 16th.
Awesome. I do
A
wonder
lot
what happened with
locking up.
Bacon Yum there. Yeah, I do wonder what's
Might have
happened.
been a crash. I'm not too sure. A lot of drivers are locking up, and based on the gameplay we've seen on 2019, can't be really locking up much, can you?
Nope.
Some are gonna have to
Alright.
watch out for next game. Would you say?
Yeah, I think so. I think it might be a different story when we go into the next game for all these drivers. Again, that's like every single game cycle, though, isn't it? Where the handling model and the physics of the game change. But yeah, if people are locking up in here, then looking like from what we've seen, looks like it's probably going to be interesting. But obviously, bear in mind that people can adapt pretty quickly. But yeah, breaks seem to be quite interesting on there from 2019, I think. So. And now Daz is gone from the session, so he's gone. Waiting for everybody else now. There's Bacon. Yeah, we wait patiently. I'm pretty sure there's a formation lap as well, I think. So I think we can kind of get things all ready. But it's going to be a dry race. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any forecasted weather. It looks pretty clear out there, but it can change. We saw in qualifying how it changed. It's a
I see
formation
dark
lap.
clouds in the background.
Interesting. When I saw those red lights come on, I thought, oh dear. Be the race star, and I'm not prepared for this.
It could well be dark cloud.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Maybe it's my eyes deceive me.
Maybe it's just overcast. That's what I'm thinking. I'm putting it down to being overcast. Anyway, Mulder is leading the way, obviously, at the moment on this formation lap. Putting in the tyre heat into their tyres. So should be interesting. I mean, people to watch out for, Ben. Looking down the order, got Jackster down there, out of position. Bacon Young out of position. Arguably you could say that even Overkill's out of position in 9th place. Should have done better. Could have done better. So yeah, I think it's all pretty tight. And at the moment, I mean, F1 Maestro's in 6th. So it might mean some big gains from people sort of below the top 3 at the moment. It looks like they might make some big gains in particular. LCR Mulder, who is actually down in the 5th in the championship, he's 58 points back, but if at the moment as things stand, he will gain big time on the leaders. So we're coming around now, the far sector of this formation lap before we start this German Grand Prix. Round 7 of the season, and 5 more races to go, and these final 5 races are absolutely pivotal in the championship fight, particularly between those top 3 of Jackster, Overkills and Bacon Young. We're in for an absolute thriller around here. We've got people from behind, particularly people in the championship fight who are coming from below 10th place on the grid. They're outside top 10 out of position. We can actually be on for a very good race. Plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it can be, every single race is absolutely pivotal for everybody in this championship. So everybody's just lining up now, ready to go racing here in Germany. So here we go, we're revving for 5 red lights here for the German Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go. And it's been a pretty good start from LTM Mulder, but actually, Hamilton's got a better start into turn 1. He cuts the first corner like a madman, and look at that, Ferrari's down in second place of the amazement. And look at that, Mulder's actually had a horrendous start, down into 4th place at the moment. We've got look at that, Force India and the Ferrari battling away of ST Will and the amazement. They're going wheel to wheel with each other, but at the moment, Hamilton has stormed away into the lead. Then here comes ST Will in the slipstream of the amazement, goes to the right hand side. Can he attack into the hairpin on his first flying lap? Here he goes on the inside. He's gone for it on the inside on the amazement, and you know what? He's got that move done. But look at the Toro Rosso in the background. Mulder's going to try and make it some lost ground here. He's got past, I think, the amazement just about. He has, and he's going to be chasing down ST Wheel now. He's going to look to the inside of the next corner. Does he go for it? No, he doesn't. He plays the waiting game. It's too early in this race to get any sort of risks. But Mulder has got himself back into P3 after losing massive ground there on the initial first lap. Also, but in the background, lots of battling going on. There's about 3 of them going wheel to wheel. Maestro, Overkills and Kushmania all going wheel to wheel with each other on this first lap. And now Chris McJoy is actually now in 7th place, got past Kush. I think Kush got a little bit bogged down by all that. But there we go, that's our first lap absolutely completed. Hamilton leads the way after kind of almost cutting that first lap, first corner. I was very surprised by that, and we'll see what people think about that after the race. But ST Will is holding position in 2nd place. Mulder is in 3rd. third, but he'll be looking to try and get in that toe as quick as possible on ST Will. But bear in mind, we're not on the third lap yet. DRS will be activated in the next lap or so. So overtaking might be a little bit difficult at this point of the race. But Mulder is looking a little bit vulnerable more from the Amazement again. So he's not actually very close to ST Will, looking like the Amazement is far more closer to LCR Mulder. Here he is in the toe, but he's not close enough to make a move into the hairpin. But look at that. Under the braking, Mulder catches actually ST Will here, so let's keep with these three. It's all pretty close at the moment. You expect that from the first couple of laps of the race. Everybody hasn't got into their sort of groove at the moment. B.R. Hamilton's now got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, so that first corner cut obviously was a cut, and then after that he's been extending and he's already on a first penalty. So at the moment, looking all pretty good for ST Will currently, because he's looking in prime position to be the net leader without the penalties. He's 1.4 seconds back on B.R. Hamilton. But if he can keep within 3 seconds, he's got a very good opportunity to take the win here. But behind him, LCR Mulder is breathing down his neck, trying to get an opportunity whilst he can. And these three are really going for it at the moment of time. Fastened up by multiple people here. Overkill actually does fast up at pace, 15.1. Very wide at that first corner for the Amazement and Mulder. So want to be careful of that. But look how close Mulder is. He's breathing down the neck of the 14 driver, trying to get a good exit through turn 4. Not getting any wheel spin. He's a little bit wide onto the curb, but he has the DRS activated now in the slipstream of ST Will. Can he close up into this hairpin? Is it enough? Is he close enough? He is closing up, but I don't think it's close enough. It's not close enough. He isn't going to go for a move yet. But again, he's so close on the braking on that Force India, and it's so close. He could actually hit him if he's not careful. So looking very close between these three drivers battling it out. But B.R. Hamilton's trying to get away, to try and stretch out his legs to exceed that 3-second gap that he needs to have if he's to win this race at the moment. It's all pretty close up there. Look down the order. Overkills is in 5th at the moment. He's got Maestro Company and Chris Macker-Jones. And they're all pretty close in proximity as well. And GSY Ninja Ninja in 8th. But Kush Mania down into 14th place. He's actually had the pit, I think. So he's had damage on that first lap. So that's unfortunate for him because he was battling away. Bacon Yum's down to 11th. He's made up some ground. And Jackster's in 12th. At the moment, Bacon Yum will make up some points on the Jackster. But let's go back to our main battle here. Let's go back to our top. These fight for the second place at the moment between Mulder and obviously ST Will and the Amazement. So here comes Mulder now in the slipstream of the 14 driver. He's going to be closing up big time. I think he's closing up this time. So here it goes. Looks to the inside. And you know what? ST Will does not really put up much of a fight. He gives Mulder the inside line. But bear in mind, the 14 will be able to get the cut back on the Red Bull and Torosso, sorry. But hasn't been able to make it stick. So he hasn't the cut back, but he's kind of let the Torosso go and focus on his race, which is probably quite a smart move at this stage of the race. Doesn't want to be taking any risks. He's in a very good position at the moment for good points here. So doing a really good job. Has got a Mercedes wide out the last corner. I think that was Prix there, getting a little bit loose. It's all pretty settled right now. Everyone's all sort of kind of trained. They're all in a little bit of a train at the moment. Not really able to make any sort of move here. But Maestro is chasing Overkills. Overkills looking a little bit vulnerable out of the penultimate corner and the last corner. So good chance here. There's now more than the fast lap of the race at 14.6. So he's absolutely going to be chasing down Hamilton as much as he can. Now Maestro on Overkills here. Not looking close enough at this point for a move. He's looking a bit far back. But bear in mind, ST Will is on Mulder here. So let's keep on board with these two. Look at that. He's closing up so much in the DRS into the left-hand side. Mulder defends very nicely indeed. Can the 14 to get the cutback? He has got the cutback. Has he got the throttle though and the exit he needs? He hasn't, but he'll have the toe. Is it enough of a toe into the next corner? No, it's not. And Mulder stays in the second, but that was a moment for Mulder. He had to stay in front there because he had got in front. He's been closing in on Hamilton. He doesn't want to lose more time behind ST Will because he's got to focus on trying to get that race win. The Amazement in 4th place, keeping it very cool right now. He's in this battle still, but he's just letting these two kind of battle on, and he's just waiting for an opportunity for himself, not taking any risks at this point and keeping it all pretty calm. He's looking good at the moment. Look at that behind. Overkills and Maestro and Chris all close together, and even joining in the action is Ginger Ninja in 8th place. He's right there too with them, so a pretty tight battle here for the 5th place. Let's keep with this group here. Let's keep with Maestro and Overkills. It gets a really bad run out of turn 1. Chris has actually got a 3-second time penalty now. So here comes Maestro. He'll be sizing up his opportunity on the McLaren driver. He's currently the reigning champion. So can the reigning champion get past the McLaren driver here? He's in the slipstream, the DRS. He'll be using the ERS and whatever energy he's got. He has got plenty of it to use at his disposal. So here he is closing up on McLaren on the inside. Can he make it stick? Overkills leaves him the space very fairly indeed. But it looks like on the outside, Overkills will get the better exit. But look at that. Maestro tucks back into the toe once again. He'll be using a little bit of that ERS. Can he close up on the inside? No, he could not. You have to stay behind him for another lap. No real overtaking opportunities in this sector or even the last sector as well. So at the moment, he's actually gone very wide here as Overkills, so he's lost a little bit of time there. So he's looking very vulnerable. He's very vulnerable actually to Maestro, but Maestro just can't afford to go for a move there. The cars are too wide through that sort of stadium section at the moment, so they can't make the move stick. You just got to keep Overkills on the pressure because Overkills has lost a lot of momentum as now Anton Beacon gets a 3-second time penalty as well. So Maestro is staying with him, but he's probably getting a little bit held up here by the McLaren driver at the moment. He'll have the DRS once again here, but it's not really a chance. But if anything, Chris is more closer to Maestro than Maestro is to Overkills. Jossie's now retired from the race. That's a shame. He was doing alright in qualifying, so he's now not going to be in the points. But Maestro once again in the slipstream, and he's closing up so much now in the slipstream using the RS. But once again, he's not that close really, as Mulder and Will are battling away there as well, so looking pretty tight between them. But look at that, Maestro seemingly got a good exit here. But is it enough? I don't think it's enough here. He's not close enough, definitely not. And he can't make that move stick. So pretty, I would say pretty frustrating for Maestro at the moment, and to stay behind Overkills. Definitely has the pace over the guy, but just hasn't been able to make that move stick. And it's an absolutely thrilling battle at the moment. Let's go back with this group though. We've got RCR Mulder. He's dropped back a little bit from Vera Hamilton. The gap was 1.1. It's now 1.7 and now 1.8. So looking like Mulder's made a mistake on the lap potentially somewhere. And he's now big time under pressure from ST Will. So Will is right in that DRS activation zone, and so is even the Amazement. So good old battle here, still on for second place. Things still stand. This probably would be the battle for first, because of the penalties. As now IK gets a 5-second penalty, and it's so easy to get a penalty around Germany. The limits and the extending the turn 1 and all those sort of things just doesn't help. So I think expect quite a few penalties in this race. But Mulder is under pressure from the Force India, but again looking like he's got that margin, so he's okay. As now Kush is now retired, he's given up on this race. So unfortunately, poor sort of first few laps of the race for him, and unlucky obviously with some sort of contact he had a bit earlier. So he's out of this race. We've only got sort of 13 runners left in this race at the moment. We're looking down the order. Maestro again hounding the back of Overkills, as now Overkills is a 3-second time penalty, so he's going to be behind this group at the moment. But
just something to point out.
Go on.
Hamilton, seems like Hamilton's was kind of saving the tides a bit, because now he's gained quite a few attempts within the past couple of laps. So maybe using that gap to his advantage, just to control the pace, not really trying to push too much. But yeah, I think Will and Mulder need to kind of work together here, because Amazement's catching up. And once there's 3 of them going at it, I don't think they can start working together at that point. They're going to have to start deciding who's in front, who isn't. But Mercedes and, not Mercedes, Force India and Taurus are going side by side into the hairpin.
Hello. That was close. Did you see that? They touched each other going into the air. They touched, and that was so close. That could have been a disaster. And you know what? Will isn't happy. He's weaved there. He's showing a sign of just anger. That's what they do here. So he's not very happy with Mulder there. He's closed the. He's almost felt like he's been closed the door on there. So not happy by ST. He's not really happy with that. So could have been an absolute disaster. But they're all okay. But the Amazement is now back on the back of them. So looking again back to being very close between these 3. And at the moment, if these look at that, massively wide by Will there. And he's lost the rear onto the grass. He went, and he nearly went out himself, and maybe he's a bit rattled by what happened there between himself and Mulder. He won't be very happy. But he just can't let it get to him. He's gone very wide out of turn 1, but looking like the Amazement's really on it now. Now Marshall gets a penalty. Let's keep with these now. Can the Amazement try and get past ST Will here? He'd probably fancy his chances. If Will's a little bit rattled, he's lost a little bit of momentum.
Those tyres look well, he doesn't look to have a lot of grip.
He's gone for it on the inside. He's gone. He's done it. That's a fantastic move by the Amazement on the inside. Late braking move. And you mentioned ST Will's tyres being absolutely knackered. Well, that's an example of what's happened there. They're gone. They're shagged. Amazement's gone for the move on the inside, and he made that one stick. Fantastic move for the final podium position by the Amazement, and doing a solid job at the moment. And again, he just kept his head in the early phases, not gone too quick. And now Will gets a 5-second pound time penalty for corner cutting. He just kept his head, the Amazement, kept in the game, kept behind them, not pushed early on, and he's seeking that reward at the moment. He's doing a fantastic job. 24 laps to go, in a good position. He's 1.4, 1.3 off the pace from Mulder, so got a bit of work to do if he's trying to catch Mulder. But at the same time, ST Will is still behind the Amazement and has another opportunity of getting packed past him, as now Beer Hamilton gets another penalty, and that makes 6 seconds worth of penalties at the moment. So your man, in terms of winning the race, is going to be Mulder as things stand.
I think Will doesn't look mentally composed at the minute. He just seems to be a bit, after that tap, he seems to, for what it's worth, he seems to got a bit too rattled up. He also seems to be trying the same thing at the hairpin. Keep trying to get that cutback, yet people are very aware of that. He needs to stop trying to get the cutback. People keep him really tucked into the inside. What does he need to do to go around that? This should just need to try and go around the outside, and he'll probably find it could work out for him. He could try and get past him going around the outside if they're just gonna keep to the inside throughout the whole of the hairpin. So he needs to be a bit experimental with his racecraft in a minute, because it seems trying to stick to the same old switcheroo. Not quite working for him at the minute, but yeah, hopefully he finds his pace as he almost loses it. I think we need to stop commentating because we're just gonna kill someone.
He's right on him now, isn't he? He's big time on the Amazement. And I think, the Amazement might just let him go here. He's probably thinking about the long run here. He's probably not going to fight it. He's not. No, look, he's gone to the right-hand side. He's gone, you know what, mate, have it. But I do find his commentary he's closing the door a little bit on the Amazement there. So he's trying to he's quite aggressive in the way that's moving, but that's fair enough. He's got the right to defend, to actually go for position there and do that. He's on the inside. He's got the right to the corner. He's now back in 3rd place, but he just needs to focus himself back up again and just try and claw back the time that he's lost here. The thing we didn't mention, Ben, is actually Bacon, Young, Jackster, Brumson, they're all on the medium tyre, so they're on the alternate strategy. At the moment, they're in 10th, 11th, that way. They haven't made much moves, but bear in mind they're on the kind of the harder compound that's available at the moment. So they're going for, again, the soft tyre in the race. Watch them coming through, and they're not far behind, actually, some good points, because ahead it's so close from sort of 5th downwards now. I think who's pitted there? Who's actually gone into the pit lane? Who is that? I saw somebody come into the pit lane, or somebody, maybe it's me. It's the Amazement's pitted. Yeah, there we go. There we are. So he's into the pits, going for the undercut. Baconham's gone. He's gone out the race. I think he's crashed out.
Safety car.
Safety car's deployed. And you know what? That might have... Has that worked out for the Amazement? I'm wondering that's worked out big time.
Well, no, it's not, because he's lost out a lot from that. He's just pitted.
So actually, yeah, he'll be on the limiter, and everybody else, when they pit in, will be on the will be faster in the pits.
Everyone else has just got a free pit stop here.
Yeah, that's big time unlucky by from the Amazement, and now I wonder what's happened to Bacon there. I'm assuming he's gone. He doesn't just retire out of nowhere. He's definitely span it and hit the wall and crashed out of the race. So that's really unlucky, and that makes Jackster the leader of the medium compound. I'm just wondering, that's probably hindered those though on that medium, because it means that soft car runners can pit in for the medium good to the end. But it means that it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be tight for those on the medium compound at the moment to switch to the soft, to go right to the end. I think that it's going to be interesting, as now St. Will is got a penalty for speeding on the safety car, and Maestra's got a 5 seconds of a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, which I don't think you can take during the safety car period. You have to take it after the safety cars come back in, so he has to wait, as looking like McLaren a double second at the moment. Both Hamilton and Overkill, which is costing Overkill so much time. The Amazement is going to be in, fifth place, behind ST Will. So actually, ST Will got past him. It might not have changed position. Maybe not. Yeah, I think it's not. I think it's not affecting him that much, actually. I think he's okay. I think he's going to be alright.
Just staying out. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't think he can go. His big problem is he can't go on a set of medium. He has to go on a set of soft. Soft probably can't last 21 laps or 20 laps in this case. I don't think it will. I mean, unless he waits, because he's going to be really out of position at the moment. They'll be back where they were, because if he pits now, they're going to be at the back of the pack, which is where they were anyway. They were sort of 10th downwards. So even if he pitted, he's back where he was anyway. So he could probably wait another 1 or 2 laps, pit in for softs. But I don't know, even then, is 18 laps possible on a set of soft compounds? I mean, maybe it's possible. But it's interesting what he's going to do with the strategy here. And the only thing you can do is revert your strategy and do 2 softs and do ultra softs and ultra softs. But the ultra soft, I don't think will have the max. You've got to pit twice, and I doubt you'll be able to make up a pit stop on a set of ultra softs. I doubt that very much. So tough decisions here for the Sabre driver. Interesting. I think he's gonna have to wait until the very end of the safety car period, the lap before the safety car comes in, to actually put on a set of softs if he's gonna go to the end on a set of softs. But that's, again, it's tight. Doing that is really tight, and you have to really look after those softs. This might not pay off for the Jackster. He might have a very quick race car, but he's gonna have to really just save his tyres at the end, because it'd be very marginal on wear rates and potentially at risk of getting a puncture. This is throwing the spanner in the works.
He can still go a few laps on these tyres, but like you said, he's going to be out of position right now. The grid's all bunched up. They're on new mediums. He's on old mediums. But then, yet again, it means he can go just a couple of laps later on this stint, and then be on fresh softs, and maybe push a little bit more than what he would have to, than what he'd be able to if he was on a normal strategy. So it's nip and tuck. He could make it work for him, but it's going to be very, very hard indeed for it to work.
The thing is, obviously, if he pits later on, he's got to calculate the risk. He's going to be a pit stop behind anyway. So if he pits later on after the safety cars come in for a set of softs, he's going to be a pit stop behind. If he pits now for a set of ultra softs, is in track position, and then pits again later on, yeah, he's a pit stop behind, but he's still gonna be a pit stop behind. So he's still gonna be a pit stop behind, like he would be on the set of softs. So he could pit now, but it's again marginal. So it is. I think he's probably gonna do your option, where he's gonna stay out on those mediums, and then pit later on, because that's. Oh no, he pits now. He's gone now. He's gonna have to go on a set of softs to the end. He's going for that one. Wait, what? Ignoring yellow flag, he's been disqualified. You're gonna laugh. Was that a glitch? He's been disqualified. How's that ignoring yellow flag? I'm gonna ask. He's coming to the pit lane. His car's still there. He's definitely been oh dear me. That's it. I'm very surprised. How is that coming into the pit lane ignoring a yellow flag? He's not ignored the yellow flag. He stayed behind the safety car into the pits. I don't know. That is so unfortunate. Ben, you know what? We talked about strategy. We spoke about strategy. You know what? Just spin it out the window, because you know what?
No, we've got Bromson we can bet on.
Yeah, we've got Bromson. We've got Bromson.
But you know what?
We spoke about. We spoke about I mean, he's gone very long on that medium. I wonder if City Car's in this lap. I wonder. Might be in this lap.
Yeah, he seems a bit distant, that safety car. I'll say Tony. Yeah, he's weaving about. Yeah. Yeah, he's weaving about, so yeah, I'll say so. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, in this lap. So here we go. We're going to be preparing to go racing here. Behind the safety car, Bromson will lead the way on his 15-lap-old mediums. He'll be pitting probably for a set of softs to the end, so he'll be very quick towards the end of the race. So let's see what he can do. It's his opportunity to go whenever he wants to go. Actually, basically, time where actually the game tells him to. Not him. So, again, slowing the pack down, maintaining the speed, and I'm pretty sure he'll go now. He's gone for it already, so a little bit of oversteer on the exit, so he's a bit vulnerable to Mulder. He hasn't had the best restarts at all. Mulder's caught, he's stayed with him, so here comes Mulder in the slipstream already. Into turn 1 we go, and look at that, he's very vulnerable. Mulder, look at that, Brooks is really wide out of turn 1, so here comes Mulder in the slipstream, but he's not close enough. He'll have the right fifth opportunity down into the exit. He'll have a good opportunity here around the outside. Can he go around the outside? No, he can't. He'll have to get the better exit. He's got the better exit indeed. Here he comes in the slipstream. No DRS at the moment. He's going to go to the left-hand side. He's going to try to go around the outside of him. But look at that. Look at that. It's going to be 3-1. Is it? With the amazement. No, it's not. And the Taurus is going to go around the outside. Mulder around the outside to get a better traction. But what about the Ferrari driver on the inside? The amazement is going to make it into second place. But is he going to get into first? No, he's not. He's going to take the tighter line. But it's all about keeping all clean. And Bromson's going to have to be on the inside. Amazement on the outside. Amazement's really wide. It's free right into the next corner. But the other, Chris Backer-Jones, switcheroomiup.com out of nowhere, is into second place. Bravo, Chris Backer-Jones. Take a bow. You're into second place. Brilliant stuff. Just absolutely opportunistic. And just did them. He did them. They were throwing each other up and just took it away. I don't know. Amazing move by Chris Backer-Jones. One of the moves of the season from what I've seen so far. Bravo. Absolutely incredible. But the amazement would want back on him here, and he's desperately going to try and get back on him. What about, where is Bromson? He's now into 4th place, so he's so struggling on those mediums. I mean, he's going to have to pit, really. He's going to have to pit it in soon. But here comes the amazement now in the slipstream. Once again on Chris, he won't be happy, but he hasn't lost too much time, I'd say. He goes to the right-hand side. He's going to have the inside for the hairpin, but Chris will have the outside instead, which probably give him better traction. But both pad users looking like the amazement gets the move done and Dusted into second place. But what an amazing sort of first lap after the safety car. That was brilliant stuff, brilliant racing, very clean, no contact. But just Chris took the opportunity. Hasn't lasted long, but took the opportunity and went absolutely went for it. And whilst the amazement and Bromson slowed each other up with Mulder, I think that's worked out brilliantly for Mulder actually, because he's caught a breakaway here. But the amazement still has a chance. And you know what? It's not over. He's only 1.4 back on Mulder, and if he can keep it clean, he might have an opportunity to even win this race yet if all things work out for him. So great stuff. Great opening stint. Well, great start of the safety car period. And we've only got 10 runners left of this race. So everybody is scoring a point. B.R. Hamilton down in 10th place. He was leading this race, remember. But he's a lap down, seemingly, on this.
One thing to notice is B.R. Hamilton on the softs, and he's got to do about 20 laps. And he's in 10th.
Yeah.
I think he's blown a win.
He's a lap down on my screen, is he? Or is he not a lap down on your screen?
He's a lap down, yeah. Right. Is he racing? He's racing. What's happened here then?
He's lost a lap. Oh, wait a minute. We've got a battle here between the Renault and the Ferrari driver of Maestro and Anti-Beacon. Round the outside goes Maestro, but can't make it stick. Sorry about that. I went from very low to very high very quickly. So, we're good. Maestro looking for a move on that Anti-Beacon there, but hasn't been able to pull it off. Tried it around the outside, but this wasn't possible. Let's get the gaps up, shall we? We can. Oh, Burnup's gone. I'll try and look at that group though. Look at Ninja and look at that IK as well. Let's go on board with Ninja here. He's going to go on the inside. Here comes Ninja on the inside. Oh, but can't make it stick. We'll have to wait a little bit, but Bromson's holding his pack up here, so bear in mind, IK will have DRS on Bromson, and Ninja will have DRS on IK, so it's going to be probably a three-way battle here, but here comes Ninja. Can he catch up a little bit in the DRS? He can't at the moment. I just need to get some more data up again, sorry about that. But look at that, IK is trying desperately to get past. I'm just going to try and invite Ben back. Just bear with me one moment, boys. I'm just going to try and get Burnout back in the party. There we are. And look at this battle. Look at this group from 4th down into sort of 8th place. It's so tight. It's so close together. It's an absolute titanic battle here for the final, for 4th place. Chris is staying with the amazement. You're right, Ben. You're back.
Yeah, just gonna do tick.
That's fine. And look at that. Bromson's now back into the pits. So IK continues on into 4th place, but it's going to be a battle between himself and Ginger Ninja. And Ginger Ninja will have the DRS on the Williams driver here, and now Maestro gets a 3-second time penalty. So again, corner gutting and all these sort of things is a big factor around Germany, and that can change things at the end of the race. But here comes Ginger Ninja in the slipstream, and the DRS is he close enough to the Williams driver to make any sort of impression into turn 1, into the hairpin. He's slipstreaming it, big tire closing up onto the left-hand side. He goes, try to go around the outside. Instead, does he cut back? Instead, he will try and cut back and get the better traction out the corner, which he has done. He's got the exit. He's got the exit indeed on the inside for the fast right-hander. But look at that, the Williams driver stays with him on the inside instead, and have a better line on the inside. They barge each other. It's contact between the two drivers. But in the moment, IK stays in position for now. But that was very aggressive in terms of defending that position by the Williams driver. But it's all kind of settling down at the moment. Chris is staying with the Amazement, but Amazement's trying to break out that DRS at the moment. Looking really solid for Mulder with 13 laps to go. But he's not far up the road, so any mistake he makes, the Amazement will be looking to capitalise at the moment. Chris, bear in mind, does have penalties. I think he's got 2 at the moment. Actually, Ben, can you check penalties for me?
I can indeed. Who do you want them for?
Just check the top 3 at the moment. Both Mulder, Amazement, and Chris. See what we're at. Once again, Ginger Ninja is staying with IK. He's in the slipstream, but he's not close enough to make any sort of move. No, he's not. He'll have to wait a little bit longer. That DRS wasn't powerful enough in that straight. He wasn't close enough to make any sort of impression.
So Chris has 4, and Amazement and Mulder have 1.
Okay, so at the moment, as this thing stands, I mean, Chris, even if Chris gets past the Amazement, is not going to make a difference. Unless the Amazement gets more penalties, and I don't think he will. I think he might get maybe 1 more, baby, but it probably won't get much more. He's been very clean at the moment. But Mulder's looking set for a race win here. He has won a race, bear in mind, China. My last race that we commentated on was China, and he won there. So he's showing very good speed this season when he has been in the lead, and he normally delivers when he has the lead of the race. Once again, look how close it is between 4th, 5th and 6th. It's all pretty close here, so let's keep on board with F1 Maestro. He's looking for a move on Ginger Ninja here, but he's not close enough. But if anything, he's closer to Ginger Ninja than Ginger Ninja is onto IK. Look, needs a good exit here, which he has got a right exit, but again, Ginger Ninja has DRS on the car in front, so any gain that he would make normally is not going to make much of a difference. So again, no opportunity for Maestro, no opportunity for Ginger Ninja at the moment, as Ginger Ninja just tries his best. His best opportunity was earlier where he tried to make that move, but hasn't delivered on it yet. Any of the battles going on at the moment, Chris is closing up on the Amazement, but again, it's probably not for much. So our main battle here is between Maestro, Ginger Ninja, and ST Will. Ben, if you can, check Maestro's penalties, and just check Ginger Ninja's and ST Will's if possible as well, because they're all in that. Actually, no, IK, Ginger Ninja, and Maestro, they're all in that battle. Just check those penalties and see. I'm pretty sure Maestro will have maybe maybe the most out of this group. Or actually, maybe not. Maybe Ginger Ninja has more. I'm guessing because I've seen Maestro pop on the screen more often. But
Wait, what goes down?
now, IK, Ginger Ninja, and Maestro. Look at this. It's all close again, but if anything, Ginger Ninja is closer to IK. Brumson's the fastest of the race. But he's some 10 seconds from this massive group of drivers. But Ginger Ninja is really closing up on IK once again. Looks to the inside. Does he go for it? No, he fakes to the inside instead. But IK's got a little bit deeper the hairpin, so there's a good opportunity for Ginger Ninja to get a better exit. But actually, if anything, IK on the outside line gets a better exit instead. But look at that. Look at that closing speed by Ginger Ninja. Looks for the move, but he's so close to the rear end. He had to back way out of that because otherwise he lost a little of front end grip and some front wing damage. And definitely probably would have happened if he stayed there any much longer. But he's still on that rear end of that Williams.
So Maestro has 3, which includes a stop and go, and K has 2 penalties.
What Ginger Ninja? What has he got?
I think he's got quite a few. He has 4.
So that's why at the moment IK is fending for his life because he knows, yeah, he might not have the best. He's struggling a little bit at the moment, but he knows he's got the advantage on penalties probably. So he's pushing it on as much as he can and just applying the pressure. But Ginger Ninja once again, he's got so much more speed and he's got a good exit here, so he's got a good opportunity on the inside and he just blasts past the Williams driver. But the Williams driver is going to be on the outside. He might try and cut back here on the Haas driver, but he hasn't been able to deliver that at all. He's gone very deep into the hairpin and Ginger Ninja has now been released and he will try and build a gap if possible, try and stay in that 4th position because it's all possible at the moment. He can still stay in that 4th, but look at that, look at that. Actually, IK is closing back up again, and he's just trying to attack as much as he can, but not close enough. He's really close, but no, he's going to back way out of that. So, Maestro fancies opportunities. It's a good old battle, good old struggle for 4th place here, and it's a brilliant old battle. That's leaving us good old entertainment. But Chris staying very honest with Maestro, but with the amazement, but looking like even if he does anything, it's probably not for the faint-hearted because on penalties he's got nothing. But F1 Maestro really close to that Williams of IK. It was a 10th going into that first corner. It was so close. He had to get way out of that. 8 more laps to go. And all to play for still. At the moment, Mulder is managing that gap. 1.6 seconds. This stands between the top 2. And Chris McJones is 4 tenths further back. The all-in DRS here, this group of 4th, 5th and 6th, but again, nothing happening at the moment, and really Ginger Ninja hasn't been able to break away from IK. He's stayed there. At the moment, everything's pretty good, but it's been a good day in the office for LCR Mulder at the moment. He's going to get massive points in the championship. I mean, when we came into this event, I said, 3 drivers going for it. Jackster, Overkills, and Bacon Yum. And out of those 3, Overkills is not in this race. Jackster isn't in this race. And the Bacon Yum isn't in this race. So, massive gains for LCR Mulder. Massive gains for Maestro, who's in 6th. He'll get 8 points on that. So, Maestro will definitely be closing up on the top 3. But the biggest gain of all will be by LCR Mulder, because at this point he'll close up and only be I think my calculations would be 33 points behind top 3 as now Anti-Beacon retires from the race, so he's out of it. He was in some good points there, so it's a shame for him because I thought he was doing a good job. 4 points on the board for Renault would have been fantastic, but both runners are now out and we've only got 8 runners left in this race. I think Hamilton is there, but he might even get 2nd. But look at this, Ginger Ninja's under pressure once again by IK. IK around the outside, and this time he's got that move done. Brilliant move by the Williams driver into 4th place. But Ginger Ninja will try to attack back on him. He looks to the inside. He goes on the inside. He's gone for it on the inside, but can't make it stick. As IK has the outside, will turn to the inside for the right-hander. But once again, Ginger Ninja will try his absolute best to go on the inside. Can he go on the inside? He's tried it on the inside. He's gone for it, but no, he cannot make it stick. And he stays behind IK. He's on the grass. IK feeling the pressure a little bit from the Haas driver. It's fantastic racing. He's so close into this last sector. IK seemingly struggling maybe on those tyres, But Ginger Ninja's right over the back. It's a fantastic battle. And it's going to be a four-way battle because ST Will's close up on there. So what a phenomenal battle between these guys. They're keeping it all very clean. But look at that. Ginger Ninja fast up the chicane, but at the first corner. But ST Will's really fast on there from Maestro around the outside. It breaks a little bit later. Goes around the outside. Will turn to the inside. Does it? No. Maestro has the better line. He's made contact with F1 Maestro. And very close indeed. But look at this, go back to Ginger Ninja and IK, they're battling away, and so is Maestro and ST Will. It's going to be wheel to wheel into the hairpin for all four of them, and it's going to be Maestro in front of ST Will, and it's going to be IK in front of Ginger Ninja, just for now. Incredible racing, and it is a battle for fourth place. It's phenomenal scenes, they're keeping it very clean indeed, and IK is defending his absolute heart out for those 12 points at the moment. But as mentioned, battle for the championship, Moulders for getting massive points. He'll be 33 points behind the top three, well 33 points behind the leader of the Jackster, and be well in it into the final four races. And it's definitely, he's got an outside shot on the championship at the moment if things stay where they are. Look at this group, it's so close. 5 laps to go. Chris gets another penalty, so Chris needs to be careful because at the moment I think IK might even, it depends if IK's got any penalties. He's looking pretty good at the moment for it, but look at this, look at these four. They're absolutely just tucked up to each other, and if IK hasn't got penalties, it might be good for him to even get on the podium because Chris has got loads of penalties. Actually, now Chris is going for a move on. The Amazement, he goes on the inside. He's got the move done. The Amazement will try and get the cut back and switch back on him. He has got the switch back on him. And it's going to be on the inside for the fast right-hander. Chris will try it on the outside. Does he? He tries to switch back on him and he hasn't been able to make that move stick at all. So the Amazement stays in second place, but again, this battle probably isn't worth it at the moment for the Amazement. He doesn't want to get into it. And even if Chris gets past him, Chris will have to stretch out a massive gap if he stays in second place. Again, the gap here, ST Will is now into 5th. Didn't catch what happened. He's seemingly got past Ginger Ninja. It was pretty close between Amazement and Chris, so we've missed that. But Will is now got in front of Ginger Ninja and Maestro. Now, ST Will looking on for 4th place here. He's on that medium tyre, and he's often looked after them a little bit better. So can he salvage a 4th place here? He's really close to IK. He's closing it big time. He's really pushing on hard here. He's in the slipstream and the DRS. He's got a good chance here. He's slipstreaming. He's really close to IK. And you know what? IK will defend as much as he can. ST Will goes to the left, to the right-hand side, around the outside. Does he? Tries to cut back instead. But look at that. Ginger Ninja's on the inside trying to push ST Will out the way almost there. And ST Will hasn't been able to make that move stick. So 4 more laps to go in this race. It's all not over yet for 4th place. But they are losing massive amounts of time. And ST Will be wary of that because if he wants to try and close up on Chris, it might not be possible because at the moment he's stuck behind IK trying to find a good old move if possible. Once again, IK looking good in that last sector, but ST Will trying to keep him honest here, and he'll be trying to get a good old run through the first corner, set himself up for that long straight. We've got ST Will once again in slipstream and the DRS, but he's not close enough to make a move into this second corner, but have a good opportunity into turn 4, that hairpin. There he comes in the slipstream, gets the DRS, and using a little bit of the ERS, he's got a little bit of overtake potentially as well. There he comes, slipstreaming all the way down this straight. Has he got opportunity on the inside? He goes for it on the inside. Does he? Outbreaks the Williams driver. The Williams driver is actually on the outside. He gets forced a little bit wide onto the curb. Great stuff by ST Will. He's now into 4th place at the moment. But can IK get back on him? He can look, but he can't get it done. ST Will pulls it off into 4th place, but he has to try and sprint away. If he's trying to stay in 4th and defend 4th, he needs to go out of the DRS. He needs to get out of the DRS because at the moment he's going to be giving a tow to people behind him. Ginger Ninja is right on the case on IK once again, looking like IK is a little bit struggling in that Williams. So through the final corner here, starting the lap 32 for these boys. Look at that IK right behind ST Will here. He's looking for an opportunity if he can, but I think he's quite far behind him now. He's about 6 tenths back, so he needs to get a good exit from the right-hander here. Meanwhile, Chris is going for a move on. He has gone for a move on the Amazement. He's gone for it on the inside, but the Amazement on the outside gets better traction. And there you go. He stays in third place for now. Chris in the slipstream. Can he get counter-attack him again? No, he can't. Let's go back to IK, ST Will, and Ginger Ninja and F1 Maestro. Again, pretty much the same as it is. Same formation of 4, 5, 6, and 7. Bromson hasn't really closed up. Bromson obviously on their soft tyres, but I think he's trying to get to the end now and score those 4 points. It's been a good day for Mercedes. Once again, it's all very tight here. If you make a single mistake, you lose. I mean, if ST will make a mistake, he loses multiple positions down in 7th place. You know, it's one of those things. You know, one mistake can cost you so much time in this big group. Once again, through the fast right-hander, first corner, and look at that, Ninja is trying to get a move done on IK. He's really close behind him. He's been stuck behind him for so long. He just wants to get it done. He made a move earlier, but IK just got him back. Maestro will be trying to do the same thing as well. Let's go back with Chris and Amazement. And Chris goes on the inside once again, tries to make the move stick, but the Amazement try and cut back on him. And he has got a good run here. The Amazement's got a fantastic run on the Mercedes driver. He'll have the inside for the fast right-hander, and Chris will have to leave him space here. But Chris will have the inside for the next corner, and he'll try and get around on the inside, but Amazement on the outside. And a great defense by him. But look, Chris gets a switchback on the inside, and it's a great move by Chris into the fast right-hander. He'll have the optimum line, and the Amazement trying to tap back after the outside for the stadium section. He tries to cut back, but Chris gets the move done, but that might not last very long, because at the moment, even if he's made that move, doesn't matter. On penalties, it looks very good for the Amazement for second place. Lap 34 of 34, we start with LCR Mulder. It's been a very good race from him. He put it on pole position. He's controlled it very well. He didn't put it on. He did a very good job. Put it on pole, and he's been leading the way. So final time through this back straight for the final time, and he's been pretty good here. As the Amazement trying to attack back from Chris on the inside. He's gone for it on the inside. You know what? He's pulled that off, I think. He's gone for that, and he has in the DRS, and Chris will look to the inside, but again, not really worth it. He goes for it, but again, Amazement's got that move done, and I think the Amazement wants to come home second. You know, legitimately, really, he just wants to get it done. But let's go with Mulder now. It's been a fantastic drive by him, and controlled it, really. I mean, he lost pole, he was down in the 4th place. But he climbed back through, got back into 3rd, and then from there, great strategy calls and great overtaking, and he's now going to come home to take his 2nd win of the season and close massively up on the top 3. So here he comes around the final corner, and LCR Mulder wins in Germany for the 2nd time this season after winning in China, and Amazement comes home in 2nd place. Great result from him, another podium this season. Chris in 3rd. ST Will oversees it out of the last corner, comes home, and crashes it into the wall. And actually, IK gets 3rd place on penalties. He gets it on penalties after Chris's penalties there. So IK gets home in 3rd place, the first podium for the Williams driver. And I'm pretty sure he'll be pretty happy with that. Fantastic job by him, and great stuff. Chris, obviously, on the penalties, got more penalties, and did a fantastic job. So great old battle. Thoroughly enjoyed commentating over that, and we'll get the top 3 into the party to do the podium interviews. And looks like Burnout is back. You're up, Ben.
I apologise. My leaves. Jesus. Yeah, absolutely. There we go. What did I miss?
IK got the podium on penalties, because Chris had loads of penalties, and IK got it on the penalties, so did a good job there. And the Amazement was battling with Chris at the end, but obviously it wasn't for the faint-hearted, because in the end it didn't matter, because Chris had all those penalties, and IK is taking a major, he's taking advantage of that, and he's gone home in 3rd place. onto the podium if we can actually go back to the. Everyone's finished now. Can we just go back to the screen of the results, please? That'd be good. I mean,
Well, if you want, I
come on,
can
game.
let you do. Because I don't know. If you want, I can let you do interviews just because I don't know if I've actually missed anything.
I'll do the interviews. You can do the rundown of the
Yeah.
top guys.
Alright.
The guys that finished. If we can actually get to the results
I'm
screen,
allowed to.
be good.
1 minute remaining, boys, until the world ends. Let's get it.
It's like they're on a timer. Yeah, it's quite funny. I've never had this happen before. I've never had this
I'm not
happen
either.
before. No idea what's going on. Come on, hurry up. Good.
The game surprises
Cross
me
the
every
line.
day.
It does. It really does. Cross the line. No. I wonder if we keep. Where's Bromson? He's out in 8th place. I wonder if when he crosses the line, does this finish? I wonder. Maybe. Let's see. It's the slowest Grand Prix you'll ever see in your life. Cross the line. Okay. We'll have to wait for the timer then. 2, 1, and 0, and done.
There we
Cool.
go.
There we are. So there you are. That has been your German Grand Prix for ILR Season 5 Tier 2. And 4 more races to go, and big gains in the championship for LCR Mulder, who will be only 33 points behind the top boys, top 3. So after top 3 didn't score, it's been a good old day for Mulder, who gains massively in the championship and scoring his second win of the season. And it's a great drive. You know, he lost pole at the start, didn't get a great start. Hamilton cut the turn 1, and from there he tried to get back through again. He did a solid job and just brought it home. He got past, had a good battle with ST Will, and you know, kept his head, and it all worked out in the end for him. And I'm sure he'll be very happy with that result.
Ah,
So that is your podium, and let's run through the order. Or if you want to do, you do the order. Yeah.
yeah, well, they went down here in Germany with the amazement in 2nd place. Kay finishes in 3rd with Chris Jones in 4th. Will in 5th place with F1 Maestro just behind him in 6th. Ginger Ninja in 7th with Bompson in 8th. Anton Beak in 9th. BOR Hamilton in 10th. And then from then on it is DNF. So a lot of non-finishers for tonight, would you say, Dom?
Yeah, particularly for the top 3 in the championship, and that's going to change things big time in regards to who's in the fight, because going into the last 4 races, Mulder's got a very good shot from the outside looking in. He's got a very good shot because he's only 13 points away from that top 3 group now, so looking good for him. And Maestro closed up as well a little bit, 8 points, but he won't be that close. He'll still be about sort of 49 points behind, so it's not, again, it's not massive gains. He's gained, but it's not a great gain. But it's all to play for the final 4 races. Let's get those boys into the party. Invite them. Let's see if they join. There's the amazement. Right, mate. Well done.
All right. We haven't been gone for years. Ah.
You know what? Yeah, every time we're here, you. I mean, so far anyway.
Yeah, more often.
We will try our best.
Don't be doing a massa. Oh, I'm too old for this. Ooh. No, Mike. Damn it! Can't get a word from the Mulder. If you want, put a paragraph in the party chat, and I'll read it out after the podium interviews. I can do that for you if you want.
Oh, God, crap.
Don't mind. Try and get IK into the party if possible. I'll try it again. If not, we'll just go with what we got. That's not a problem. Give him a minute, and then we'll get on with it. Well, I'll give him 30 seconds.
Is it just me that's really tired?
No.
Okay, as long as I'm not there now.
No.
Jesus. Jesus. Been a long week.
You know what? We're gonna go for it. That's fine. Cool. The amazement, mate. Second place.
Hello.
Looked like hello. Very calculated drive, mate. I think. Early sort of stint of the race. You're sort of fourth place. Kept your nose clean and looked like you just came at home in second place. Had a good battle with Chris towards the end as well. But obviously had a lot more penalties. Talk me through your race. How did it all go for you?
Well, quali was a bit disappointing. I was a bit disappointed with third, but I got the lap in, which was something. So my lap one was a bit of a mess because you had second get a better start than first, and obviously there's a very small run to turn one. And whoever was second, I can't remember who it was now.
Hamilton.
Destroyed turn one. He absolutely obliterated it and got about a second lead. He was gone. He was absolutely out of sight. And then I got punted off at the hairpin, I think, by Will. He didn't somehow see me. I don't know why, and that put me down to fourth. And them two went at it, and I thought, I'm just going to sit here and not do anything because I don't want to get involved in a three-way battle. I'm pulling away from the cars behind. There's just no point, really. So I just sat behind, and when the safety car came out, because I pitted that second. I swore a lot because I thought I was going to come out in about 9th or 10th. I thought everyone was going to get a free pit stop, but luckily the what's it called, the safety car Delta thing went as I ran back round the pits, so I got back in my position. I say the restart is just where the race sort of won or lost because I think Brumson was still out on his mediums.
Yeah,
and
he was first, wasn't he?
I think he tried to do a bit of a hold-up job for Chris, which I don't blame him. But say Mulder just got away, and that was my race really. So it was a really good battle with Chris. I knew he had more penalties because you can ask about that sort of thing. But yeah, that was a really good battle. It's nice to see someone can drive, and there's some racecraft here. So it was all right. It's good points because I'm not here next week, so it's all right.
Good stuff, and obviously that's your second podium of the season.
Yeah, I wish Mulder would go away. You win it. You turn up
so you
at
can
every
win.
race. I seem to actually be all right at. So if you don't mind, just go bed early. Something like that. Just occupy yourself. Next time I won't have another good race anyway. I'm pants at all the other tracks.
Yeah, we've got Italy. I mean, I was going to ask that question. I mean, what you're looking at? Obviously, you're missing Italy, then, aren't you? So you got America, Japan, Brazil. Not really good pad tracks, are they? Really, you're a bit stuffed there.
I'm gonna have to hope for some wacky racing, I think.
I mean, today was wacky. But,
it was. I was not involved really in any of it, which was good. There wasn't too much at the front. Although, sort of who was it? Will and I can't remember who was second at the time. Mulder, battle was Mulder, a bit iffy. I was going for some interesting. There were some interesting moves there. That's why I didn't want to get involved, but that's all right. That's nice to have you two back.
I mean, oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, thanks. Cheers. We missed a lot. I mean, the championship's changed a lot since we've been out. I mean, Jackson's leading it. I mean, top three haven't scored points today either. So Mulder's gained so much in the championship. So that's one thing. But slow drive by yourself, and again showing you can keep it clean. And I mean, when things work and actually you don't get crashed into, seemingly because I've seen some bits since I've been away. So just driving standards haven't been the best, but since when you've actually have been able to kind of been clean and in a clean battle, you've got on the podium. So hopefully your luck is good in America and Japan and Brazil, where you're probably gonna need it.
And Monza. That is next week.
Oh, Monza, lovely.
It's all right.
Can't wait
You
for
seem
the
to
Citroen Fest.
be in Italy like every 2 weeks anyway, so you should like it. Like every holiday you have, you seem to be there.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I prefer Imola. Monza's boring.
Oh, it weren't last year.
It wasn't actually. It's pretty good last year. That's like the last good that was the last actual good Italian Grand Prix. Funny. But yeah, just continue what you're doing. I think hopefully we have some good racing going forward, and hopefully it's going to be a good rest of the season. I think it should be good. I'll read out what Mulder said in the chat, and I'll read out, actually, IK just sent me a message. I think he hasn't got a mic either, so I'll read that out. Mulder, who won the race, congrats to him if he can hear me. Oh, he probably can't hear me. Congrats to you, mate. Great stuff, and massive gains in the championship. You were 57 points, 58 points behind. Now you're sort of 33 points behind now, so right up in that battle for the top three who didn't score points today. So he said, didn't expect to be on pole as I practiced 10 minutes and had a bad lap as well. Had a decent start, but Hamilton got away better and then lost 2 more positions in turn 1. The race was quite boring for me, but happy with the win. And yeah, answering your question, which I've answered, he is back in the championship fight because he's 33 points behind. So we've got 4 more races to go. And at this rate, if the Making Yum keeps crashing out, if Jackson keeps retiring as well and crashing out, and Overkill does the same, on really, but that's that. IK said this. Give me a moment. Let me get it up. He said, just want to say that it's been a while that I had that kind of race. Great battles and congrats to Joe and the winner. So if IK is watching this back, congrats to you, mate. Really good job, and he got it on penalty. He got the podium on penalty, so that was a solid job by him, and just kept it clean. Had a good battle with Ginger Ninja and the Maestro, so it all, and actually Sent Will as well, so it all went really well. ST Will, it all went really well for him, so great job by IK as well, and congrats again to the people on the podium today. Well done to Mulder on the race win, yourself, the basement. Great job on second place once again, and IK in third. But Ben, any final words? Anything you want to say? Yes. You there?
Yeah. Well done to Mulder. Great race, and obviously same to you, amazement. Unfortunately, you won't be here next week, which I'm sad about. But we shall make sure we don't commentate. So everyone, wait, no, everyone got bad luck today because we commentate. So we'll commentate next week, innit?
Do it again, then no one will finish.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Commentator might actually win.
Yes.
Although you've got a podium interview yourself.
Yes.
If it all... That works, actually.
Ben can interview me,
I'll
and
roast.
then I can interview Ben.
I'll
Get a third
represent
party to do it.
ILR commentary team.
All right, we'll leave it there, boys. Thank you for watching. Everybody's turned out, and I hope if anybody's watching back on the stream, I hope this has all been good for you and you've enjoyed the commentary and all that shazam. Final 4 races coming up: Italy, America, Japan, and Brazil. The championship is big time on. Now actually is on between 4 guys now: Jackster, Overkills, Bacon Yum, and LCR Mulder. So it is all possible, and particularly from LCR Mulder, who scored fantastically today. Took advantage of the top 3 not scoring at all and won the race, and is now right in the championship hunt going into the final 4 races. So we're on for a very thrilling end to the season with everything to play for in championship hunt. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week for the Italian Grand Prix.